Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Dondozo in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Where are the sleeper Pokemon? Where are the strong ones? I'm hearing all this stuff about Palafin, Annihilate. Isn't Houndstone supposed to be busted? Why is your fourth non-starter moveset another tank? That's because Dondozo is ridiculous. How can I talk about Palafin when Dondozo makes Palafin not exist? But Smogon banned it. If anyone ever tells you, oh, you can't use that Pokemon, it's banned, or, oh, that Pokemon's not good, it's in UU, they suck at the game. And if you want me to cover the bafflingly stupid decisions we are seeing out of Smogon from Generation 9, comment your interest down below, leave a like on the video, share it with friends. Also, just leave a like if this video helps, because Dondozo is outrageous. So, I mean, like, all of my videos have just been me having a mental breakdown over the absurd stats we are seeing in Generation 9 mixed with abilities. We have one of the fattest, strongest defense tanks. 150 hit points with 115 defense that has Unaware and an OHKO move. What are you talking about? That's just like the anti-Pokemon. This antis pretty much everything in the game. It doesn't die, and then it just has a one-shot. It can just break through everything. You also can't set up against it, and for some reason it has 100 base attack, so it actually hurts while uninvested. Oh, but it has 65 special defense. That doesn't matter. You max out the special defense, you max out the hit points, defensive nature for the extra 10% bonus, and like, it's unkillable. And then you can do all kinds of stupid things. I've seen so many movesets, much like with Garganacl, much like with Goldengo. This Pokemon is so innately broken that you can just kind of smash anything onto it, just do whatever, and it's just going to work. And it creates so much variance for the opponent, it's impossible to play against. So this is what I've seen. Rest Sleep Talk. You can just throw out fissures until you almost die, but you can't really get one shot. You can't really get 2 or 3 shot. And if the opponent tries to set up against you, that's just a free KO off fissure. And then when you finally go down, you rest, and then you sleep talk for the chance to OHKO them, but you're alive for so long just because these stats make you immortal, it doesn't matter. Then you have some other moveset options, because like 150 base hit points is more than most Pokemon in the game. Actually, we can sort and find out how many. Oh, just more than pretty much every Pokemon in the game. Great. So doing 33% recoil means you're taking a very small percentage of your total health, even if you're trucking an opponent for half or something. And then you just rest it off. Maybe you roll into a wave crash, they get KO'd. You roll into a fissure, they get KO'd. And now Dondozo, what can you do against it? Like, you need special electric. Like, you just need the heaviest of special sweepers to have a chance to do anything about this Pokemon. You could just get the counterplay of like, oh, yeah, I got fissured, cool. Then we also have some other weird movesets. This thing doesn't even need Sleep Talk because it's that insane. And with the Unaware, it's a very big anti-tank. There's a lot of Iron Defense or Curse into Body Press. Dondozo doesn't acknowledge any of those things, and it's just way too dense anyways. So opponents that are trying to actually like throw down status or set up or just be some kind of stally tank can't Toxic it, just rest away. And then it can actually tag bits of damage onto bulkier, not incredibly sweeping Pokemon. So you're trying to have like a Bruiser War, or just kind of like tank it out but throw down some damage. Dondozo's always going to win. And then against other like Giga Tanks that aren't flying, and now everyone's going Terra Flying. The meta is just warped into a fissure meta because all the good Pokemon get fissure, and the only ways of stopping the good Pokemon are to fissure it until it goes Terra Flying, and then the game completely breaks down. And it's just that outrageous right now. So yeah, we're in a fissure meta, and that's what happens. So tanks don't get to do anything Dondozo, and then most Pokemon don't get to do anything Dondozo because of the fissure and just the other options. Rocky Helmet Rest. It works, because that's what happens when you give Unaware to this. It's outrageous. There's also some other options. You know, you run the Liquidation. Now, while Chilling Water isn't going to do anything for Dondozo because of the Unaware, it actually gives you, like, a lot of switch potential if you're in some kind of weird, stally matchup or the opponent has physical pressure to where Dondozo can absorb that, and then, like, the -3 physical attacker means your Blissey can, like, set up against it, or you can just switch into a sweeping Pokemon, set up, and then win the game off of that. Other item options get a little weird because, like, you want leftovers on this thing just so you're always just staying unkillable, but a lot of other tank Pokemon want the leftovers as well. I think Garganacl wants leftovers more than Dondozo. Maybe you go, you don't even need a Chesto Berry for like the rest sets or the Sleep Talk or anything. Maybe, I don't think Citrus Berry buys you really too much, but it is just extra health your opponent has to chew through, so slapping on the Rocky Helmet usually does decent. Bright Powder, just for the memes, like, maybe they finally hit you 5 times, but it misses on the KO chance, and then you just sleep it off. Actually, a Quick Claw probably has, like, a lot of viability in this generation. For some reason, I haven't just teched it on. I thought about this before Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out, and then I got lost in my 100 hours of gameplay and 20-hour grind to make my teams that I forgot Quick Claw is going to be busted, because in a tank meta, if you're already just kind of like evenly matching or something, that 20% chance to outspeed could just completely swing the tempo to where it's like, oh, now you're just a turn ahead. And every Quick Claw you land just puts you a turn up on the opponent's tank Pokemon, or in the chance that they have like a sweeper Pokemon that can do something about you, 20% chance to take care of it is better than 0% chance and just you lose. So I can imagine nothing more frustrating and thrower controlling than if, you know, you're finally about to take it down. You're faster than it because it's got 35 speed, you're going to KO, and then it goes Quick Claw rest, or Quick Claw lands a fissure and you're dead. There could just be something dumb like that, so why not throw it into the game? Because Dondozo doesn't need anything. It's an unaware Pokemon that's the fattest tank in the game. As for other EV options, I've done videos in the past about how diminishing returns work. So yeah, when you have 150 hit points, we're not really gaining a lot. Also, flat rules are always going to be level 50, so you should focus on that just to have an idea of what's going on. So we're going from 225 hit points to 257, whereas with special defense, we're going from 85 to 117. We're getting 40% durability compared to like 15%. So that's something you want to pay attention to, and since defense is lower and hit points is kind of calculated weird, there's probably some extra optimizations you can pick up for something like this, where now you get more defensive durability than you're losing in special defense durability, and even though you are more weak on that special side, the odds that like a multi-hit KO are going to be the difference of like 13 hit points, probably lower than like the physical shenanigans. But I just kind of like the simplicity of this. Also that what if, you know, if you survive on 1 hit points off of a Specs Rotom Thunderbolt, that's because you didn't get too cute with the EVs or something. And because of Unaware, it means Swords Dance doesn't do anything, Dragon Dance doesn't do anything, Curse doesn't do anything. So normally where you need like a really niche moveset to survive a +1 or +2 or have some kind of counterplay, like that just isn't needed on Dondozo. So I did want to bring out the options. Also, you can run full defense tank Dondozo. Just, this is your new Scarlet. How can they play into the strongest special defense tank to ever exist? Plus one of the best, this could actually be the best physical tank because of Unaware. And then, okay, they brought in Rotom, Blissey comes in, and then you win. And then you could get really disgusting if you do like Blissey, Eviolite, Chansey. So it's like, oh no, Rotom tricked my Blissey. Boom, still got Dondozo Chansey. Unbeatable. So yeah, for Dondozo, you just kind of kit bash whatever and you make a moveset and then you win the game. It's kind of meta dependent. Do you need more water? Do you need more steel? Whatever other coverage you kind of need. Crunch is also an option. So you just come in, it's like, oh yeah, I can crunch ghost type Pokemon. I can just land fissures when I need to and we're good to go. Rotom is a problematic Pokemon, but again, that's what like Blissey and other Pokemon on your team are for because it's not just a 1v1 game. Something like this moveset gets bodied by Motom and Rotom Wash, so plan around it, but that doesn't mean you have to change this moveset because it also destroys pretty much everything else. So yeah, that Dondozo's kind of crazy. And I know what you guys are thinking. Finally, a Pokemon built for doubles, has double synergy, has crazy new interactions with Tatsugiri. We're going to get a doubles moveset out of Verlisify, and that's where you're wrong. Because in Game Freak's attempt to make a Pokemon that couldn't get like out-gimmicked and bursted down, actually has like a chance to do something, they ended up just making the best Pokemon ever for singles. Doubles is the worst format because it's the most cheated format. VGC is still corrupt. I have many videos on that. You can find that in the description down below. Wolfie VGC is the biggest fraud in all of Pokemon. He uses hacked Pokemon for competition. He can't win without cheating. He has lied about it on multiple occasions, so he is just overall an evil dude, and that is what is going to be influencing VGC, and that's been the culture for over a decade now. So it's not getting any better, so why would you waste any time into that? All the rental teams are hacked, and because everyone's hacking 24/7, the meta is completely unstable, and it's pretty much impossible to actually build a team for VGC, because by the time you're done building it, it's already been cheated into a completely new meta, so I'm not going to waste any time on it until we actually see things happen. But that doesn't seem likely because the 2022 world champion just got exposed for cheating. Damage calculation time. So let's see what is going on with the Dondozo. And like I showed, it's like, okay, talk about Palafin. Why? Dondozo just bodies it in every way. Wave Crash, like the thing for Palafin, is a possible 5-hit KO, and then not a 5-hit KO after leftovers. Jet Punch gets completely absorbed, but it's like, what about Bulk Up? But I'm unaware, so that doesn't actually matter. And then we also have things like Drain Punch, but anyone that actually knows how Pokemon works can see that the damage is less than Wave Crash. Right, losing stab on a high base power move means that the neutral move doesn't matter at all. Which is also why every Smogon decision is outrageously hilarious. Bulk Up plus Taunt sets fully caught on, which take advantage of just about everything that makes Palafin naturally strong and dials it up to 11 to wipe unprepared teams. So Smogon just admitting, like, they're trash players right here that can't play Pokemon properly because they're always unprepared. And instead of adapting and actually getting good at Pokemon, which has always been the biggest issue with Smogon, they just ban things that aren't that strong. Next up, we can kind of look into Garchomp. So we have, like, the strongest Garchomp you're going to see. Life Orb, Jaw, well, you could technically see, like, Adamant Wall Breaking, but even then, it's, like, chance to 2-hit KO that also goes down with, like, leftovers and other stuff on, like, Garchomp's biggest hit. We have a 130 attack, beneficial nature, Life Orb, which is just something, like, you're never going to really encounter frequently enough. Like, this is the upper end of damage in all of Pokemon. And the Outrage, which actually has a drawback for Garchomp, isn't even a reliable way of dealing with a not defensive invested Dondozo. This is what I mean, where, like, if this was common, which it isn't, maybe that's where the EV things get kind of interesting on where you could put, like, extra stuff. And then, like, wow, you could actually just kind of take it down a decent amount, but then you're more vulnerable to special attacks. So Dondozo can eat the Outrage, swing, eat the Outrage, rest, and then now Garchomp is going to be confused. Or, it's one of those things where Dondozo absorbs the Outrage. If it's the Sleep Talk moveset, it can rest, just like kind of in anticipation, or because it's always going to be resting anyways. Even a weakened Dondozo isn't threatened, and now you have a free switch into a Fairy-type Pokemon that can set up and win the game. On a Pokemon that's not even investing in what it's being attacked against. And if it's a Swords Dance Garchomp, Dondozo wins, because they just gave up a turn for free into your unaware Pokemon. It's ludicrous. Now we also have Rotom, so you can't do really much more. I don't really recommend going like Special Defense Nature, because again, that's what dedicated special tanks and type matchups are for. But like, the choice specs, modest, 252, Thunderbolt Rotom Wash. So once again, one of the most powerful hits you can anticipate in the game isn't even going to reliably KO Dondozo with a super effective hit. I'm kind of at, like, and also, you can switch into a Hydro Pump and still not take too much damage either. So, I mean, like, wow. If it's specs, that means they're locked in the Hydro Pump and they just lose, and now they're forced out. Now your Dondozo gets a free turn to do whatever it wants. So yeah, Dondozo just grinds the game to a halt until it lands a Fissure, and then your opponent runs out of options. If they find any options, you can team build around it for the Dondozo, and if it doesn't get the win off of all of its Fissures, the game's going to 20 minutes, but it wins because it can rest on the last turn. I don't know. It's just, like, egregious. It's unacceptable how dilapidated this Pokemon is, and the kind of metas it creates and warps around its very existence because of the unaware with these stats. I don't know, but yep, so there we go. Go and use one of the most disgusting Pokemon in the game. Maybe that's the thing, like, Dondozo is such a boring Pokemon to play. That's actually, like, the thing preventing it. It's not worth the win to have to suffer through doing this. But maybe you just need wins. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.